Well, good morning there to you, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Manning coming to you live from Scott Manning YouTube Sports Talk. I want to take a few minutes with you here this morning because we do have a very big day in college football. Now, I know we started right out of it noon, Ohio State playing Maryland at 12 noon. I'm not going to talk about that game today. I talked about it last night on my YouTube College Football Podcast pregame show. I'm not going to bore you with that today because we have three other big games today. One this afternoon at 2:30 on NBC, the other two later tonight. And I'm also going to talk about the mess in the Big 12 race. And before I go, I will make two very important announcements before I get out of here on this day. But right now, we got to talk some college football. Like I said, we got three big games on the schedule. I'm going to talk about each one of them. And then after the third game, I'm going to talk about the mess in the Big 12 race, because it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. And that's all I got to say at the moment. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Now, we started off today at 2:30 on NBC. Number 3 Notre Dame versus number 12 Syracuse. Now, a lot of people are saying, there's not going to be much drama in the top 4. There could be some drama today in the top 4. Let's think about it. Syracuse is ranked number 12 in the country. And Syracuse has a quarterback named Eric Dungey. He's almost passed for almost 2,200 yards this season, and he's got 14 touchdown passes to show for it. Mo Neal, he's got 716 yards rushing this season. And Jamal Curtis, he has 746 yards receiving for Syracuse this season. Syracuse coach Dino Babers has said, we have a great team. We can get the job done. But I will say this, Notre Dame has a great defense. I'll get to that in a second. But let's think about this for a minute. Ian Book is back for Notre Dame. There's some good news there. But I'm going to say this, though. Ian Book, don't let this surprise you. He has 1,824 yards passing this season. He could be over the 2,000 mark before this day is out. He's got 15 touchdown passes this season. Dexter Williams, he's rushed for 770 yards this season. He has 10 touchdowns on the ground. Miles Boykin has 654 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns himself this season. And Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly said, we're going to take this one game at a time. We got Syracuse today, and I'm going to tell you right now, our offense is ready and our defense is ready. But let's think about this today. All Notre Dame has to do is win, and it's a guarantee they're almost in. If they can play well and they can beat Syracuse today, in my opinion, and the opinions of a lot of other people, they're in. But this is what Syracuse needs to do. Syracuse has got to go to the air, and they got to find a way to get around the Notre Dame defense. And that's not going to be easy. Because let's think about this. Think about this for a second. Linebacker Tavon Coney, it's going to be very interesting to see what he can do. If the Notre Dame defense stops Syracuse, game over. It's going to be game over, lights out. However, if Syracuse's offense can get going, we're going to be in for a battle this afternoon. Now, as it stands right now, Notre Dame is a 10-point favorite. Anything can happen on any given Saturday. But the bottom line is, we got a big battle today. And keep in mind, this game is at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Yes, I did say it. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, the home of the New York Yankees. They have converted, and a lot of people are thinking, Scott, why are they playing a football game at a baseball stadium? Well, let me tell you something. Yankee Stadium, they can pull this off. I would love to see what they can do, because it's going to be interesting to see how this game goes today. Because everybody's got it slated that Notre Dame should fairly easy. It should be no drama in the top 4. I'm going to be honest with you. 10-point favorite. That'd be a little bit iffy for me in a game like this, in a big game situation. But I'm going to say this now. Don't take Notre Dame lightly, because Notre Dame's got a fantastic defense. They're a great defense. They can get the job done. And let's think about this for a minute. But for Syracuse, Eric Dungey, he's almost got 2,200 yards passing this season. If Notre Dame can't stop the pass game, Syracuse could pull off an upset. Some people had this game as a gimme game for Notre Dame. But there's a few people that do have this game on upset alert because of Eric Dungey. He's going to be the wild card today. Depending on how he does, could determine how this game goes. And if the weather has any say, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this game goes. This is a big one today, and there's a lot at stake. Because if Syracuse upsets Notre Dame, then the real debate begins. Does Notre Dame get into the college football playoff? I don't want to think about that right now. Let's get through the game first, then we'll talk the college football playoff and see how that goes. But for right now, Notre Dame is a 10-point favorite. Keep that in mind. But keep in mind, Syracuse has a great quarterback in Eric Gungy. And Syracuse is 8-2 on the season, which is a really pleasant surprise. And as it stands right now, according to the latest college football poll projections, a lot of people have Syracuse facing West Virginia in the Peach Bowl. That would be a major accomplishment to get a New Year's Six bowl. That wouldn't be a bad deal at all. But keep in mind, we got a long way to go. The game starts at 2:30 on NBC from Yankee Stadium. And I'm going to be very honest with you. It's going to be very interesting to see how this game goes today. Bottom line. All right, phone, you can quit ringing anytime. Come on, phone, hurry up. All right, let's talk about it. Central Florida versus Cincinnati. Number 11 Central Florida faces Cincinnati tonight in a rare American Athletic Conference main event. This is a big game for us. The conference championship game is 2 weeks away. And that's all there is to it. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. Come on, phone, hurry up. There we go. Sorry about that. But anyway, number 11 Central Florida faces number 24 Cincinnati in the American Athletic Conference Championship game. Actually, let me back up. Number 11 Central Florida faces number 24 Cincinnati tonight. The American Athletic Conference Championship game is 2 weeks away. And also, too, number 22 Central Florida is riding a 22-game winning streak, and that winning streak is on the line tonight. ESPN's toughest critic, Kirk Herbstreit, is in Central Florida tonight, and he's probably already saying, "Oh, Central Florida doesn't have a shot." We'll see what Lee Corso says later on today on ESPN College Game Day. But it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. Because let's think about this. UCF and all their victories, they've been scoring over 30 points per game. The Cincinnati defense has held all their opponents to less than 30 points a game. UCF coach Josh Heupel said it's going to be a very interesting game tonight. I look for our guys to try to do some damage late, and if we can stop them, we have a shot. But the bottom line is, it's going to be a very interesting night, and it's going to be a great game here this evening. But if we can find a way to stop Cincinnati, if we can get Cincinnati's defense held them in check, we have a shot. But Cincinnati coach Luke Fickell said, if we can stop Central Florida's passing game, we got a real shot at it. And the bottom line is, we can beat them. We have an shot on an upset tonight. And that's all there is to it. But let's think about this. For Central Florida, Mackenzie Milton. He has over 2,300 passing yards this season and 2,309 yards passing this season and 21 touchdown passes to show for it. Greg McCray. He has over 678 yards rushing this season and 4 touchdowns. That's huge for UCF tonight. Gabriel Davis, 571 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns on the season. It's going to be a very interesting chance to see how this game goes tonight. It's going to be an interesting game, but the bottom line is we're going to have a real battle here this evening. For Cincinnati, Desmond Ritter, 1,897 yards passing this season and 15 touchdowns. However, Cincinnati's biggest weapon is Michael Warren II, 1,082 yards rushing this season and 17 touchdowns. And Kahil Lewis has 490 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns himself for the season. This game is going to be an interesting one. And this has the making of a heavyweight championship main event tonight. The bottom line is, it's going to be a very interesting night. See how this game goes. Can Cincinnati knock off Central Florida? And I'm going to say this now. It's going to be interesting to see how this game goes. But if Cincinnati can pull off the upset, everybody in Cincinnati is going to be celebrating like the Bengals won the Super Bowl. And I shouldn't sound like that. I'm sorry. However, we got to think about this. If Cincinnati knocks off Central Florida, it's really going to turn everything into a tailspin in the New Year's Six battles, in the New Year's Six bowl battles. And then the bottom line is, anything can happen on any given Saturday night, and it usually does. And everybody knows how Kirk Herbstreit feels about Central Florida. I'm surprised he hasn't run his yap yet. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to be looking forward to Lee Corso's headgear pick. I really am. But it's going to be a very interesting game to see how it goes. And that's all I'm going to say for right now. Now, the other game I want to talk about, and this is going to this has Big 12 implications riding on the line. Number 15, Texas. Number 16, Iowa State. This is a big one. There's a possible shot at the Big 12 title on the line. Texas coach Tom Herman has said, I've got my guys ready. We're going to be ready to play. It's going to be great. I want to see what we can do against Iowa State. Iowa State is a very tough football team, and they are. Don't get me wrong. Iowa State coach Matt Campbell said, our team's going to be ready, but we're going to be kind of in a little bit of a handicap when we get the game underway here tonight. I'll get to that handicap in just a second. But we're going to be a little bit of a handicap for the first half. We'll see how everything goes. But our team is ready to go. We could still ruin the party for somebody. Hopefully we can ruin it for Texas tonight. And that's all there is to it. Now, the handicap that I was talking about a second ago is Iowa State running back David Montgomery. David Montgomery has been suspended for the first half due to the brawl last Saturday against Baylor. He threw a punch at somebody, he got ejected. He has been suspended for the first half of the game tonight. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this game goes. But I'm going to say this, though. We can see a real battle tonight in the trenches. Texas, Iowa State. But surprisingly, Texas now is only a 2-point favorite. That's it. And you know the sad part about this is, and I feel bad for all my loyal viewers out there, this game is going to be on the Longhorn Network, which is an ESPN subsidy for the University of Texas. The game's going to be on the Longhorn Network. Not everybody in the state gets it. You'll have to watch this game on the ESPN app, or if I can find some way to get it on the tube, I'm going to watch it tonight. I'm going to be flipping between that and UCF and Cincinnati tonight. Nobody thought, because when the season really started, nobody was thinking that Texas-Iowa State was going to be huge. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be an interesting game, and we're going to see how this game goes. But the bottom line is, we got battles in the trenches tonight. This is a huge night in college football. And this is huge tonight in the Big 12. But right now, we need to talk about the Big 12 race, because the Big 12 race is really, really heating up. And I want you to think about this for a minute. First of all, we have the top 4 teams that have a shot at the Big 12 crown. Oklahoma, West Virginia, Texas, Iowa State. Now, Texas, Iowa State face off tonight. But West Virginia plays Oklahoma State this afternoon at 3:30 on ABC. And Oklahoma has an easy game against Kansas. Or it should be an easy game, I should say. Now, you guys know about Texas, Iowa State. They face off today. Next Friday, November 23rd, the day after Thanksgiving, on a Friday night, Oklahoma faces West Virginia. And that has Big 12 implications on the line, because keep in mind, West Virginia owns a victory over Texas. And if West Virginia can beat Oklahoma, they're going to be playing for the Big 12 championship. However, Texas owns a victory over Oklahoma. But Iowa State, now how does Iowa State fit into all this? If Iowa State beats Texas, that could be huge. Because if West Virginia loses to Oklahoma State today, Iowa State, if they win tonight, they could possibly jump in and take it away. Because keep in mind, Iowa State owns a victory over West Virginia from back earlier in the season. But the hardest road, I think, has to be Iowa State. They got to beat Texas tonight and hopefully have Oklahoma State knock off West Virginia, or have Oklahoma beat West Virginia next Friday. And this is huge. This is a wild weekend. I know it's crazy, but Oklahoma doesn't have an easy road either. They face West Virginia next Friday, and on top of that, they would have to face either West Virginia, Texas, or Iowa State for the Big 12 championship. Now, Oklahoma's playing for a whole nother reason. They're trying to get into the top 4 in the college football playoff. I grant you, it's a mess, but I'm trying to clear this up for you the best way I can. So let me try this again. Texas, Iowa State tonight. If Iowa State beats Texas, that's huge. Because if Oklahoma State knocks off West Virginia, Iowa State can jump in and take it away. Oklahoma, if they lose to West Virginia, that's huge. Because that means Texas could possibly jump in, because Texas owns a victory over Oklahoma. So we could be talking about a scenario of possibly having a rematch between Oklahoma and West Virginia, or Texas, West Virginia, or even Texas, Oklahoma. Iowa State's got the hardest road to get there. First, Iowa State's got to knock off Texas. And then hopefully have Oklahoma State knock off West Virginia, and Oklahoma beat them again next week. And then they can jump in. We got 4 teams fighting for two spots in the Big 12 championship game. I know it's confusing, but by the end of this day, we should hopefully have some of this confusion cleared up. Because I've been thinking about this too. If Iowa State beats Texas, Iowa State could possibly jump in and take it away. I've seen stranger things happen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just giving you the scenarios. I'm just telling you how it is. And if you want the truth, you'll get it from me. And that's all there is to it. But it all boils down to what happens today. Texas, Iowa State, that's at 8 o'clock tonight. West Virginia, Oklahoma State, that's today at 3:30. And there's a lot to think about. And the bottom line is, the Big 12 is so crazy right now. My head's spinning, and my head's starting to blow steam, and I'm getting a headache. I did my best to try to clear it all up for you. But anyway, it's going to be a very interesting Saturday in college football. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, I have 2 announcements I need to make. Number 1, next Friday, November 23rd, Friday morning at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be doing a special edition of the Scott Manning YouTube College Football Podcast pregame show. It's rivalry weekend. We have Oklahoma, West Virginia on Friday night. We also have Washington State on Friday night. So I consulted with the entire state of Washington, the West Virginia Redneck Association, all the Mountaineer fans, and all the Oklahoma fans that watch my show every week. So I decided to do a Friday morning 9 a.m. show to get everybody in. And I will do a wrap-up video Friday night as soon as both games are done. I'll hand out the game balls then, like any other Saturday. I'll hand out game balls like usual. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a very interesting Saturday next week, but it's going to be a big Saturday today. Keep that in mind. And the next announcement I want to make, Friday, November 30th. Friday, November 30th, I'm going to do another Friday morning show on Friday, November 30th. But the title of the show is going to change. It's not going to be the Scott Manning College Football YouTube Podcast pregame show. It's going to be the Scott Manning College Football / Basketball show. I'm going to be talking college basketball too next Saturday. Here in 2 weeks on a Friday. So keep that in mind. I'll put the announcement out on my announcement out on my message board. I'll be making the announcements again. But don't worry about that. But today is going to be a crazy day in college football, and I'm not going to go anything further. But I'm going to let you know now, if there are any major upsets, I will come back here. I'll give you my immediate take on it, and I'm going to let you know right now, it's going to be a crazy day today. And I'm not going to say anything further on this day. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank you guys for taking some time with me here this morning. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Scott Manning. All you have to do is just type my name down, scroll down, look for this pretty face, click subscribe, and you'll see all the sports videos I have done so far. I want to thank you guys for spending so much time with me here this morning. I know this is impromptu, but I want to thank you guys for taking some time with me here this morning. You guys have a great day. Enjoy the college football action. It starts in about a little less than 2 hours from now. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for being with me. And I'll be back later in the day if I need to be. If there are any major upsets, I'll give you my immediate reaction. And I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be a crazy day, I grant you. But it's going to be a wonderful Saturday as well. I'll be back tonight at 11:30 or midnight for the college football podcast, for the Scott Manning College Football wrap-up show. For my post-game show, I'll give you my immediate reaction to all the games on this day. But I want to thank you guys for taking some time with me this morning. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for being with me, and God bless.